So when you're assembling the aluminum bed, the first thing you have to do on this particular car, which is a Subaru, is you have to assemble the front wall and the rear tray. This is the front wall. So this is the cockpit side right behind the front seats, and this is the front tray. So the front tray, the key to the front tray is underneath, you're gonna pre-assemble these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pierces. And on this particular car, we've only assembled a couple of nuts to show you how it works. But you're gonna assemble the tray. The back side of the tray only has 3 pierces. So when you assemble the tray, you're gonna have the 3 pierce side facing to the rear. You're gonna have the 7 pierce side facing forward. And this is the assembled tray. And we just put a couple of bolts there to get it together. Here's the Smyth emblem. This is the pickup bed right here. So we're going to assemble this. Basically, line up your front wall using the lower 2 bolts. Remember, the 2 bolts at the very bottom of this front wall, there's 2 bolt holes that mount to the old seatbelt holes right at the very base of this tray. Put those 2 bolts in, assemble this, let it be flexible. When you install the front wall, just make sure your carpet is on the other side of the wall. This aluminum wall goes right up against the painted surface of the front edge of the seat. Put the 2 bolts in at the bottom and you're ready to go. Keep this flexible because we're going to be doing the bed sides next. We've already installed the front wall and the tray loosely on the Subaru with the bed sides next. So these bed sides, on the Subaru you'll notice the left and right bed side, unlike the Jetta, the Subaru has an overhang on the inside of the bed. So I can reach my hand under here. So when you're assembling the bed, take a look at how we did here. The left and right side is a little different. The right side has this little notch here. The left side does not. So that really is the big difference. You'll see how there's more cutout here on the right-hand side, this big, huge radius that goes, this bigger hole. The left-hand side has a smaller cutout. See how that's not the same size. So that's the difference between the right and the left. What you want to do is you want to pre-assemble this tray. So this rear tray, so this is the back end of the Subaru truck. These are your latch strikers. I pre-assembled the lower hinge points just so you could see which direction they go. A lot of people might put it on backwards. You put it on facing this way. This is the removable side where the tailgate slides off. The tray is assembled. We use this to bolt to the existing metal on the Subaru that we trimmed. So let me show you the underside. Very, very simple. The tray goes together. The larger ear sticking down faces the rear of the car. And then this whole assembly we're going to drop on the Subaru. So you grab the bed sides. Remember, you've only got the rear tray assembled. So we're going to put the flange up front on the inside of the B-pillar brace. Make sure that you're on the inside. That's good up front. Are you good? You can slide it down back on the inside of the flange. And you're good. And then the rest is final fitting. So loosely fit. Now we get to chase and find all these little bolts and assemble the trays loosely. And then the bed is pretty much in place. So after we've positioned this really loosely, know the order of the aluminum pieces. The front wall is the inside piece of aluminum. The bed side, this piece, slides between the two, and the B-pillar brace is on the outside. So you have a sandwich of the outside B-pillar brace. The middle piece is the bed side, which slides in the middle like we just did. And then the inside piece of aluminum in here is the front wall. And then all of them are sandwiched together for strength. This piece right here is loosely assembled, and you basically want the top edge and the front edge of this. See how they're crooked right now? You're going to make this corner equal to that corner, and the front edge here will sandwich everything together. So these, when they're all smooth and square, mean you're done. When you position all your pieces, now this one is already installed, but the method to install the B-pillar brace is to position your rear assembled bed with the front wall. And you can do this with just the front wall if you want. But you're going to want to position this piece with this wall intact. And there's a gap. There's about 1/8 of an inch between the front wall and this outer piece. And so when you assemble this piece shapes and follows the recess here that is in the Subaru. So you can see how this piece is automatic. I mean, it really is self-aligning. And what you want to do is you want to install that rivet first. So you get this thing where you want it, you use clamps, you use vice grips. So grab this corner with a vice grip. You know, you're just going to grab this corner, and then you're going to follow, since that's being held, you're going to follow this piece up to the bend. And then you're going to grab this or put a pilot rivet here, and you can see how tight it is. I mean, take a look. There's only a 1/16 of an inch of gap between the wall and this B-pillar brace. So you've got one rivet here, you've got a clamp down at the bottom, and then you're going to push this top piece in and make sure, zoom in here, and you can see, make sure the top fits within 1/8 of an inch of the groove. And that's really it. And then you can assemble it with one of these rivets, or I just use a vice grip here at the top. And then once the vice grip is in place, I'll start riveting from the middle down. So I'll do one here, I'll do one here. We already have one down there, right? And I'll skip 3 or 4 rivets and drill, skip 3 or 4 or 5, drill. Now, we overdid the number of rivets here. The other option is you can do a bolt, a rivet, a bolt, a rivet, a bolt. You can indulge yourself. Whatever you feel is strongest. I use rivets, and then I cover this with silicone at the very end so it can't leak. Even though this is covered with body, I want a double seal on that edge. And that is the B-pillar brace. Then you can remove these pieces, make sure they're assembled properly, whatever you want to do. Once these are installed, you should have a slight gap on the inside between the front wall, the sides, and the outer B-pillar brace.